Alright guys, well, we're going to check it out today. I've been getting a lot of weapon mods here recently, and I've been getting some real cool ones. A lot of nice ones have come out in the past couple of weeks. I'm sure you guys have got them if you've been paying attention to the Nexus. The first one I want to take a look at is the FAMAS. This one's by ajhakra and nolifepothead. And they put together a real nice weapon here. This was one that they worked on for a while, and they really worked on the texture and the model extensively. So I just want to get right into what this weapon's got with it. Now it's got a couple different variants. You can change it to these two different styles, which you got the iconic looking, probably what you've seen in Metal Gear Solid or other shooter games, different types of games. And then you got this other one that looks real cool. I personally been running around with this one. Just kind of like it. It looks a little bit sleeker. You can also change this shroud here around the trigger. You've got the framed variant, frameless, and then you got this CQB grip, which I've been running with it. It looks real cool. It really suits the weapon. The different barrels. It's got a few options there. Of course, you've got your standard receivers. And your standard ejects. I like the standing mag, but if it had as many as the extended, I would run with it. But I like having as many bullets as possible, especially for this weapon here. It's got a ridiculous rate of fire, so you're going to be emptying those mags quickly. And we got, you know, your normal suppressor, muzzle brake compensator, lots of cool sights.
Maybe constantly trying to kill us, but
as far as extra attachments, you got your flashlights and your laser sights. I haven't really been using them. I used to be using the TNR shoulder light, but for some reason when I put in pip pad, it stopped working. So I'm guessing those two, for whatever reason, cannot be. I think it has something to do with the FAMAS installer on the pip pad asks you if you want the patch for the Pip-Boy light, and for some reason when I chose head emitter or a Pip-Boy emitter, either one, it's not working for me. So I have to quit using that for now. And so I don't really use the flashlights on the weapons, but I may start again since I'm not really using that shoulder light anymore. The bipods, I'm not a big fan of bipods myself, but other people may like them. I'd rather not have them on my weapons. Alright, so this weapon, like I said, has got a ridiculous rate of fire. I mean, it's just insane. It's got the awesome bullpup animation. It's a really nicely made weapon. It's a little bit too thin, but maybe that's how the weapon is in real life. I'm not real sure. I kind of like my weapons a little bit bulkier, but it doesn't really matter. For this weapon, it suits it, and it does fine. So I've just been running around with it, and lately it's been my go-to automatic. Anything that you point this thing at is going to be done in a matter of seconds. I mean, there's just nothing that can withstand the ridiculous rate of fire this thing has. Third-person animations. They did them for this weapon. They look really good. The one thing I noticed, the suppressor really didn't do too much suppressing, but maybe it wasn't supposed to, or maybe they didn't put any sound effect for that. I'm not really sure, but not a big deal. Doesn't really bother me. We'll see what it sounds like without a suppressor, if it makes any difference. I don't think it does. Oh. That was kind of weird. Oh. Kind of sounds a little different, but still about the same volume. The recoil's not bad on this weapon. It really doesn't have much of a recoil at all. So just a tad, which for the rate of fire it has, not bad. And I finally figured out what overhaul mod I'm using. I'm using Commonwealth Conifers Redux, which a lot of people use that. I tried regrowth and for some reason couldn't get it to work with my collection of mods. It wasn't allowing me to run the game. It kept crashing, so I'm not sure what the reason for that was, but for whatever reason, I really liked regrowth. I wanted it to work, and maybe in another playthrough it will work. But for this one, the combination I had to use was Commonwealth Conifers, and yeah, it does really good. Pretty much does the same thing, except it's probably not quite as overgrown. We got over here, Rad Stag. Instant death. So literally like just a couple of seconds and whatever you aiming at is no longer living, and you're good to go about your day. So yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. This weapon, I like it a lot so far. It's staying right in my hot menu, so I can pull it up if I need to waste anything in a matter of quick seconds. Alright, thanks guys. That's it for this one.